Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about adding algebraic fractions. So we're going to be adding fractions that have something to do with variables like x and y. So if we look at question 1, we have 3 over 2x plus x over 3. So your approach is going to be the same as if you were adding normal fractions. When you're adding normal fractions, you look for a common denominator. So for example, if you have 2 over 3 plus 1 over 3, you can just add this to equal 3 over 3 because your denominators are the same. But if you have 2 over 3 plus 1 over 2, then you're going to look for a common denominator. Now to look for a common denominator, sometimes a really simple way is to just multiply these two numbers together. You'll get 6. So now your common denominator will be 6. So 2 out of 3 will become 4 over 6. And then 1/2 will become 3 over 6. And then you can add this together to get 7 over 6, and that would be your final answer. Now, when you're doing algebraic fractions, it's going to be the same thing. So you're just going to find a common denominator. And in some ways, the easiest way to get a common denominator is to just multiply your two denominators together. So let's erase everything over here and let's work on question number 1. So our denominator is 2x, and then we also have 3. So if we multiply those two together, we're going to get 6x. So that's going to be our common denominator. Now, to get from 2x to 6x, what did we do? We multiplied 3. So we're going to do the same thing to the numerator and multiply by 3. So this is going to be 3 times 3. Now, let's add. We're going to do the denominator as 6x because that's going to be our common denominator. How did we get from 3 to 6x? Well, we multiplied by 2x, right? Because that's the number we have over here. So we're just going to take this numerator and multiply by 2x as well. So x times 2x. So if we simplify this together, we're going to get the common denominator as 6x. This is 3 times 3, which is just 9. We're going to add, plus, if you multiply these two together, you're going to get 2x squared. So this is your final answer. 9 plus 2x squared over 6x is your final answer. So now let's do the same thing for the question at the bottom. We have 5x plus 3 over 2x plus 3 over x. So let's find our common denominator. In this case, we're just going to multiply it together again. If you multiply 2x times x, you're just going to get 2x squared. That's going to be our common denominator. Now, how did we get from 2x to 2x squared? Well, obviously, we multiplied by x, so we're going to do the same thing to the numerator. We're going to do 5x plus 3 times x. And then we're going to add this with this fraction. So we're going to write our common denominator as 2x squared. How did we get from x to 2x squared? Well, we multiplied by 2x, which is our other value over here. So we're going to take this 3 over here and multiply by 2x. So now if we simplify this, we have 5x plus 3 times x. If you expand this, you'll get 5x squared plus 3x, because you have to multiply on both sides. So 5x squared plus 3x all over 2x squared. Plus, if we expand this, we're going to get 6x because we're just multiplying 3. So it's going to be 6x over 2x squared. Now we can simplify this further and bring the terms together. So it'll be 5x squared plus 3x plus 6x all over 2x squared. Now if we simplify this even further, and I'm going to bring the screen down a bit, we're going to get 5x squared plus 9x. So we're just going to add these two together. So 5x squared plus 9x over 2x squared will be your final answer for this question. So let's do one last example. We have 2x plus 4 over 2x squared plus 3 over x. So we're going to follow the same steps as we did before and just multiply to get a common denominator. In this case, if you do 2x squared, which is our denominator here, times x, which is our denominator here, we're going to get 2x cubed. So our new common denominator is 2x cubed. Now, how did we get from 2x squared to 2x cubed? Well, we obviously multiplied by x. So we're going to do the same thing to this numerator over here. We're going to do 2x plus 4 times x. Now let's do the second fraction in this question. We'll bring the common denominator as 2x cubed. How did we get from x to 2x cubed? Well, we obviously multiplied by 2x squared. So we're going to do the same thing to this numerator over here. We're going to do 3 times 2x squared. Now let's simplify that part of the question. So if we take the numerator over here, we have to multiply both terms. So it's going to be 2x squared plus 4x, I just expanded, over 2x cubed, plus 6x squared over 2x cubed. Why? Because we're just multiplying 3 with 2x squared. Now if we simplify this, we can take our common denominator as 2x cubed and leave it as it is, we'll get 2x squared plus 4x plus 6x squared. Now, as you can see, we can simplify these 2x squareds. We can bring the like terms together. So we'll get 8x squared plus 4x over 2x cubed. And that would be your final answer for this question.